All right, guys. So this is the Dude with the Bible channel and podcast. All right. So today we're going to be talking about planning for children, right? Should you have children as a Christian? Um, how to plan for children and why, right? Do you maybe you don't feel like having kids, and maybe you don't feel like having a child or a family, and you shouldn't feel guilty about that. But what you should do is talk to the Lord about it, okay? But here's some key tips and some Bible verses that you want to consider when you're family planning, when you're thinking about kids, when you and your spouse or your partner are just kind of going through it, okay? All right. So, some Bible verses for child planning, planning for a child with your spouse, okay? Or if you're a single person and before you get married, you're thinking, hey, do I want to get married because I don't want to have kids, right? So there's a lot of questions that you may have. I highly encourage talk to parents, talk to Christian parents, and also you also really want to consult the Word. What is childbearing? What is child development? Um, what does the Bible say about it? Okay, and you want to talk to your pastor, talk to a family counselor, or family pastor if you have one, a designated one at your church. All right. So, what does the Bible say about raising kids and about children? So, you can generally concept for the concept. You generally want to go to Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it." Right. And that really just means the ways of God. Then Ephesians chapter 6 says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord." And then in Psalms 127, 3 to 5, it says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, and the fruit of the womb, a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. Blessed is the man who fills his quiver with them. He will not be put to shame, and when he speaks with his enemies in the gate." When he will not be put to shame when he speaks to his enemies in the gate. And then in not Psalm, wrote that down again. Okay, in Isaiah 54, I think this is really cool. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13, it says, "All your children will be taught by the Lord, and great will be the peace of your children." Okay, here's what you got to understand is that when God gives you children, you can be confident that when you obey Him, right, and God gives you children in your family planning, if He gives you the spiritual peace to do it, and you plan on giving your children back to God, that means raising them in the instruction of the Lord, not just bringing them to church, but at home, being a Christian, like showing them the way to live as a Christian. That's obeying God, letting go of your addictions, uh, getting victory in your life so you can live that out at home, right? And letting go of your idols. That's one thing people don't tell us to let go as parents sometimes when we're getting ready to have parents. Be ready to let go of your idols and let go of bad habits, okay, that you don't want your children to have, or habits and ideas that may keep your children from getting closer to God as they grow throughout their childhood, their teen years, their college years, and as adults. Plant those seeds of godly wisdom, godly principles, right, and godly instructions, loving commands when they're young. And those are things you're going to have to do if you become a parent. Now, that's what you have to do. It's going to be hard to execute, right? But if you have children now, that's something that you want to reinforce and that you want to live out in front of them first, because the greatest teacher is a great example. And then on top of that, another thing, actually, I'll say this is if you're single and you're wondering if you should have children, talk to God about that, okay? Um, some of you may be single and you're not married. You should consider having a strong marriage first before you focus on having strong just having children, right? You want to plan. It's always best to plan as best as you can. And it's going to happen, right? But just make sure that you're putting God first. Talk to Him first, because you can plan as much as you want, but your plans are not going to be established without God, right? But just know when you're building a family, you want to build it God's way. And that's where you're going to see favor and you're going to see blessings. And your kids will thank you for it later. Bye bye now. God bless.